accordance with the MBPP National 10-Point Program and Platform Black Power. Black Power means to define what is in the best interests of Black people, to develop what is in the best interests of Black people, to defend what is in the best interests of Black people. 1. To develop a Black Power movement. We, the new Black Panther Party for Self-Defense Local Chapter, representing the national new Black Panther Party, are currently organizing for the benefit of our people in the city, region, nation, and all over the earth. To this end, we scientifically and consistently organize to redeem our people and ourselves. We recognize the necessity for Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We strive to develop a Black Power movement in the local area to develop complete constructive change amongst our people and to defend our rights. We as a local and national party strive for Black unity, Umoja, and Black solidarity with other Black organizations worldwide. We shall build alliances with organizations, leaders, churches, mosques and like. When necessary, we must deal firmly and appropriately with Black leadership who betray the interests of the Black community or Black nation. We recognize our divine destiny and the need for divine guidance in our movement. We are not a religion. However, all faiths and spiritual practices are respected and studied from a Black liberation perspective. We support Black liberation and salvation theology as a necessary weapon to redeem ourselves after our enemy has destroyed us. We affirm our Imani, faith, in the victory of our just cause. One God, one aim, one destiny. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. 2. To develop Black Power through education. We, the new Black Panther Party, work to educate our people, particularly the youth. To that end, our movement educates and teaches the community at our weekly meetings, public forums, rallies, programs, town hall meetings, on the streets, in the schools, in the projects, on the radio, through electronic and print media, and anywhere where knowledge needs to be forwarded. Most of our youth are currently in the public school system. For this reason, we will take an active role in school board affairs and general work in the regional public schools. We will struggle to turn the local school board back into the electoral hands of our people. We also struggle to ensure that knowledge of self and history is taught in the local and regional school board systems. We support development of independent African-centered schools. We shall establish our own schools as a party. We encourage college degrees, professional degrees, as well as trade and vocational training. We strive for the knowledge to compete with the best in civilization. Education also includes a knowledge of better diet and health practices. A proper education enables us to define, thereby develop and defend what is in our Black self-interest, giving us Kujichiguli self-determination. See point 5 of our National 10-Point Program. 3. To develop and defend Black economic power, we struggle to promote and develop a Black economy. We must control the money that flows in our community. We must own and control the businesses in our community. We struggle for Black-owned stores, banks, supermarkets, laundromats, hotels, cab companies, beauty supply shops, retail outlets, restaurants, shopping centers, and the like. We must establish trade with ourselves, our motherland Africa, and the nations of the earth. We must buy Black as often as possible and cease unnecessary spending with non-Black-owned businesses. The Hon. Marcus Garvey's UNIA and the Hon. Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam are two great historical examples of building a Black economy. The businesses that currently operate in our community cannot be allowed to exploit the community. We shun exploitation, regardless of the race of the exploiter. We must remove the foreign economic bloodsuckers from our community. We support UJAMAA cooperative economics. Please see point number 3 on our National 10-Point Program. 4. To develop and defend Black political power, we recognize the reality of politics as being a process that controls the distribution of resources in the city and our community. We built the city, region, and country, and are currently forced to pay taxes. To that end, we, the new Black Panther Party, engage in the political process to ensure the proper use of our community's tax dollars and other dollars that were stolen by whites from us. Politically, Black nationalism means to control the politics and politicians in our community. Malcolm X. We shall be active in the affairs of the politics of the district, region, and national government, which impact our people. We will deal with the local city council, regional governments, school boards, ANCs, etc. We shall back strong Black candidates when they meet the Black Agenda test requirements. We encourage political awareness and activity to further the Black Agenda. All Black politicians who betray the people must be dealt with. We understand that political power is limited, absent economic power and a true knowledge of self. We are 100% opposed to gentrification or white takeover of the inner city. We demand full self-determination, for particularly after having built the city and nation self. self-determination today is denied because of blatant racism, we struggle to establish our own provisional government in unity with other Black organizations. In order to take control of our communities and in preparation for our own official NBPP Black Power manual government soon to come, we advocate political alliances with all African Black organizations that are uncompromising in the struggle for liberation. We also will organize with the other oppressed people of color. The new Black Panther Party for self-defense is all Black, not integrationist. 5. To develop and enforce accountability in law enforcement and the criminal justice system. We respect the police in our community who show proper respect for our community. We respect those in authority as long they respect us. God alone is our master. We, the new Black Panther Party for self-defense, mobilize and organize for an end to police brutality and misconduct. We demand the police in our community and elsewhere respect the human rights of our people and their constitutional rights. We call on Black police officers to recognize that they are Black men and women first and police officers second. We call on Black police officers to recognize our common enemy who put our people in this condition. We demand full accountability of the police to the citizens of the Black community. We strive for community police review boards with legal power to seek indictments, punish and discipline rogue police officers. We will monitor and observe the police according to the law. We call for an immediate end to surveillance cameras in the Black community. We struggle to reform areas in our community or nation from the negative behavior that the slave master and the decadent American way of life imposed upon us. We believe in our divine and legal rights to self-defense after over 400 years of abuse. The criminal justice system must be held accountable to the will of our people and not a cruel ex-slave master that desires to see our people continuously incarcerated. Of course, our work is in the jails and prisons where many great brothers and sisters are locked up. We demand immediate freedom for all political prisoners and prisoners of racist political circumstance. 6. To develop and defend Black youth. The new Black Panther for self-defense recognizes the good qualities and leadership potential in Black youth. We seek to help them to become leaders and defenders of our community. The future of our nation depends on this so-called lost generation. The history of the liberation struggle shows us Black youth at the forefront. We excitedly welcome Black youth into our ranks. We call for an end to gang violence and an end to Black-on-Black violence in general. We demand, locally, billions of dollars in reparations specifically for the salvation and education of our young people. Every Black youth or able-bodied person in this city and region should be afforded a proper education and reasonable job at a good wage. After the robbery of our people for over 400 years, we demand an immediate end to the wholesale incarceration and criminalization of Black youth. We invite Black college student participation and affirm continuity in struggle through youth. 7. To reclaim and develop Black neighborhoods. We strive, with community residents, to reclaim and clean up our community, block by block. We organize patrols, community events, and programs to reclaim our neighborhoods. We feed and clothe the homeless with community support, and always work with the downtrodden in our society. We demand adequate health care and rehabilitation in our community. No, we are not guardian angels. Again, we must fight gentrification or the white takeover of the city. We recognize this as a conspiracy to remove our people, and will fight against it by any means necessary. We, with the community, shall establish a new code of conduct in the Black community of love, sisterhood, brotherhood, intelligence, peace, respect and unity and struggle. 8. To defend Black rights in general. We shall struggle and organize against all forms of racism and discrimination against Black people in the region. Federal, state and local government racism, corporate racism, consumer racism, police discrimination, housing discrimination and racist discrimination in general. The new Black Panther Party is the vigilant defender of Black people's divine, human and legal rights. To this end we work through the Black Defense Lodge, NOAAU, and call on Black legal organizations, attorneys, Black activists, pastors, preachers, churches, organizations, and leadership of every Black stripe to join with us against the evils of racism, inequality and injustice. Freedom or death. 9. We demand local reparations and compensation. We affirm that the governments, corporations and white private citizens of the region have willfully, intentionally and recklessly enslaved, discriminated against, robbed and disfranchised their people in countless and innumerable ways. We affirm that the same entities' wealth in the region is rooted in the slave trade system and currently profit from contemporary racism and disenfranchisement. We thereby demand that the guilty parties relinquish billions of dollars owed in finance, land and other necessary supplies, as partial reparations, to partially compensate for over 400 years of slavery, discrimination, racism, brutality, robbery, theft, land stealing, suffering, death, physical and mental injuries, general abuse, defamation, slander, and a host of other crimes and torts of the broadest and worst magnitude. We demand the use of these partial compensatory damages for the institutional rebuilding of the Black nation and community with absolutely no strings attached. We fully support all national reparations movements and call on all Black organizations to fight for reparations by any means necessary. All power to the people. Revolutionary ideology. New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense 10-point program and platform. What TNW Black Panthers want, what the new Black Panthers believe. 1. We want freedom. We want the power to practice self-determination and to determine the destiny of our community and the Black nation. We believe in the spiritual high moral code of our ancestors. We believe in the truths of the Bible, Quran, and other sacred texts and writings. We believe in Mada and the principles of Nguzo Saba. We believe that Black people will not be free until we are able to determine our divine destiny. 2. We want full employment for our people, and we demand the dignity to do for ourselves what we have begged the white man to do for us. We believe that since a white man has kept us deaf, dumb and blind, and used every dirty trick in the book to stand in the way of our freedom and independence, that we should be gainfully employed until such time we can employ and provide for ourselves. We believe further in power in the hands of the people, wealth in the hands of the people, arms in the hands of the people. 3. We want tax exemption and an end to robbery of the Black nation by the capitalist. We want an end to the capitalistic domination of Africa in all of its forms: imperialism, criminal settler colonialism, neo-colonialism, racism, sexism, Zionism, apartheid, and artificial borders. We believe that this wicked racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of reparations. A form of reparations was promised 100 years ago, 40 acres and a mule, as restitution for the continued genocide of our people and to in meaningful measure and repair the damage for the African Holocaust. Mongamizomafa. We believe our people should be exempt from all taxation as long as we are deprived of equal justice under the laws of the land and the overdue reparations debt remains unpaid. We will accept payment in fertile and mineral-rich land, precious metals, industry, commerce and currency as genocide crimes continue. People's tribunals must be set up to prosecute and to execute. The Jews were given reparations, the Japanese were given reparations, the Black, the Red and the Brown nations must be given reparations. The American white man owes us reparations, England owes us reparations, France owes us reparations, Spain and all of Europe, Africa owes us reparations and repatriation. The Arabs owe us reparations, the Jews owe us reparations. All have taken part in the African Holocaust and the slaughter of 600 million of our people over the past 6,000 years in general and 400 years in particular. We know that this is a reasonable and just demand that we make at this time in history. 4. We want decent housing, fit for shelter of human beings, free healthcare, preventive and maintenance. We want an end to the trafficking of drugs and to the biological and chemical warfare targeted at our people. We believe since the white landlords will not give decent housing and quality health care to our Black community, the housing, the land, the social, political and economic institutions should be made into independent UUAMAA new African communal cooperatives so that our community, with government reparations and aid, until we can do for ourselves, can build and make drug-free, decent housing with health facilities for our people. 5. We want education for our people that exposes the true nature of this established and decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history, and our role in the present-day society. We believe in an educational system that will give our people a knowledge of self. If we do not have knowledge of self and of our position in society and the world, then we have little chance to properly relate to anything else. 6. We want all Black men and Black women to be exempt from military service. We believe that Black people should not be forced to fight in the military service to defend a racist government that holds us captive and does not protect us. We will not fight and kill other people of color in the world who, like Black people, are being victimized by the white racist government of America. We will protect ourselves from the force and violence of the racist police and the racist military by any means necessary. 7. We want an immediate end to police harassment, brutality and murder of Black people. We want an end to Black-on-Black violence, snitching, cooperation and collaboration with the oppressor. We believe we can end police brutality in our community by organizing Black self-defense groups, Black people's militias, Black liberation armies that are dedicated to defending our Black community from racist, fascist, police military oppression and brutality. The Second Amendment of white America's Constitution gives a right to bear arms. We therefore believe that all Black people should unite and form an African United Front and arm ourselves for self-defense. 8. We want freedom for all black men and black women held in international, military, federal, state, county, city jails and prisons. We believe that all black people and people of color should be released from the many jails and prisons because they have not received a fair and impartial trial. Release means release to the lawful authorities of the black nation. 9. We want all black people when brought to trial to be tried in a court by a jury of their peer group or people from their black communities. As defined by white law of the Constitution of the United States, we believe that the courts should follow their own law, if their nature will allow, as stated in their Constitution of the United States, so that black people will receive fair trials. The Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution gives a man-woman a right to an impartial trial, which has been interpreted to be a fair trial by one's peer group. A peer is a person from a similar economic, social, religious, geographical, environmental, historical, and racial background. To do this, the court will be forced to select a jury from the black community from which the black defendant came. We have been and are being tried by all white juries that have no understanding of the average reasoning person of the black community. 10. We demand an end to the racist death penalty as it is applied to black and oppressed people in America. We demand freedom for all political prisoners of the black, red, and brown nation. We want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, and peace, and, as our political objective, we want national liberation in a separate state or territory of our own, here or elsewhere, a liberated zone, New Africa or Africa, and a plebiscite to be held throughout the black nation in which only we will be allowed to participate for the purposes of determining our will and divine destiny as a people. Free the land. Up, you mighty nation. You can accomplish what you will. Black power. History has proven that the white man is absolutely disagreeable to get along with in peace. No one has been able to get along with the white man. All the people of color have been subjected to the white man's wrath. We believe that his very nature will not allow for true sharing, fairness, equity, and justice. Therefore, to the red man and woman, to the yellow and to the brown, we say to you, the same rabid dog that bit you, bit us too. All power to the people. Warrior Code. The new Black Panther Party for self-defense. The 5 duties of a panther. The sole purpose of a panther is to be a revolutionary in the African people's liberation struggle and to mobilize the masses toward self-determination. A panther must be a vanguard example for African, black, people at all times. In order to accomplish this great and divine mission, he or she must be 1. Spiritually, culturally, and politically conscious. 2. Respectful and courteous to all people and demand the same in return. 3. Militant, always engaged in the war for the hearts and minds of African people while carrying oneself in an organized and orderly fashion. 4. Humble, willing to release any arrogant attitudes and superior ideas of oneself. 5. Disciplined, willing to sacrifice your lower or personal desires for the greater good of the mission.